Hey, what's today's daily sprint? We're talking about increasing our purpose, passion, and meaning. And today, I want to talk about how your goals could be literally putting you into different states of depression, or even a permanent, semi-permanent state of depression. I know that's pretty crazy because we're taught to set goals. And I was reading here in John Maxwell's, we're reading 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And if you read any of Tony Robbins, or you study kind of like practical psychology or study psychology, you know that big things happen in the brain when we're growing, accomplishing, growing day by day, inch by inch, and when we're contributing. So when we're giving and when we're growing, really, really positive things happen in this brain. So how does this pertain to goals? So John talks about the goal conscious person focusing on a destination. Well, think about that. Once you arrive at a destination, there's no more joy to be had. You've arrived. So you either choose a new destination and start back from square one, or just accept that I've made it, I guess. And now there's nothing really more to strive for. Goal conscious people motivates you and others. That's definitely a positive. Seasonal. So goal conscious people, it tends to be seasonal, like I just kind of mentioned. And it stops once the goal is reached. Where growth conscious people, they focus on the journey. When you're growth conscious, you're gonna have some wins, some losses, but you're always gonna have an inch forward. So you're always gonna be getting that next step, one step closer. It's kind of like running a marathon. Matures you and others. So you notice the goal conscious motivates you and others, where growth conscious matures. That's a lot more of a deeper verb. It's lifelong. It changes you. A goal challenges you. A growth conscious person is changed. They become a new person. I always say, I don't want to make $1 million to have $1 million. I want to make $1 million because of the person it takes to do that. It takes a very, very different kind of person, a very growth-driven type of person. And it keeps growing beyond the goal as opposed to stopping when the goal is reached. I love this quote here by Ernest Newman, and it says, "The great composer does not set to work because he is inspired, but becomes inspired because he is working." A lot of times I hear goal conscious people, they're like, I get motivated, or they have what we call the Monday morning mentality. When Monday comes around, and I do this in areas of my life, just not in business. Our DMOs, they get done whether we're motivated or inspired or not. They're part of our identity. So, but I do have other areas of my life where Monday morning, I'm going to start eating my celery stalks or whatever. So, but I just wanted you to be, take today's daily sprint and just be conscious that your goals could be periodically putting you in a state that you don't like to be in. So how can you use your goals to determine direction, but become a more growth-driven person and thus a more joyful and happy person? So I'll finish with this. There's a famous composer that the author, John Maxwell, that John Maxwell mentions, and his last name is Williams. And it says, Williams doesn't look for motivation. He doesn't wait for inspiration. He gets up every morning and practices the disciplines he wants to get better at. He does not expect it to be perfect. He just expects it to be done. So hopefully this sunk in for you, and let me know in the comments some areas in life that you want to grow in. And remember, when you commit to growth, there's never a ceiling. I'm committed to growth in my marriage. I want to get better and better and better. I'm committed to growth in my business, my bank accounts. I'm committed to growth in my faith. Those are things that are never, ever going to have an end game because they're only going to get more and more abundant. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great growth-driven rest of your day.